Yo, it's your boy Eli, and this is the E&Kidd podcast, now on Patreon. So, today, I want to do a video about the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant and why he was so successful in the league and in life. And this is kind of a breakdown of Kobe, more than just his game, but what driven him to be so successful, and an introduction to the player breakdown series. So in the player breakdown series, if you've been following it, we go over different players. Some players, well, most of the players I've went on so far are some of the best players in the league, and what makes their game unique and what makes them special, because every player, there's something about every player that is unique to their game, or it's just special for them. Like Steph Curry is one of the most unique players in the game, and it's hard to compare him to anybody else who's ever played the game. But in terms of Kobe, when people used to talk about Kobe, they used to think Kobe was crazy. Kobe was this cat who just didn't like anybody, who he was crazy. Only thing he cared about was just working and basketball. He didn't have any friends. But Kobe, he knew what it took to be successful, and sometimes to be successful, you have to sacrifice something. You have to sacrifice time with your family, or you have to sacrifice, you can't eat certain foods, you can't drink this, because now if you drink this, then you will be out of shape. You won't be one of the best players in the league because you're not dedicated to your craft. So to be as successful as Kobe was, he knew what it took to be a success in the league. But before I go any more, I'm going to show a video clip of Kobe talking about sort of what it took to be one of the best players in the league.
If you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 11, right? 12, say 12, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8, right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right, now imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4, you go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? Relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're.
So, as you just saw with the video, Kobe broke down the lives of, you can say, for example, 2 athletes. One athlete, he wakes up at 10 o'clock, and then from 11 to say 12 or 1, he works out. Then he eats, and then maybe he'll go back out there from 6 to 9 or 7 to 9, and he'll work out. That's 2 sessions. So he's worked out, he's gotten better, but is he really outworking his competition? So he's only working when everybody else is working, opposed to Kobe throughout a scenario where I wake up at 3 o'clock, and then from 4 to 6 I work out and I eat, and then from 9 to 11 I work out, and then maybe I'll rest, eat again, and then 2 to 4 I'm back out there, 6 to 8 I'm back out there. He's showing you how much more time and effort that he's putting in, and by the years go by, the separation will happen, because essentially what you're doing is you're outworking the competition. But what everybody thinks, they don't see that. They don't see the effort, the blood, the sweat, the tears, how much work you're really putting in your craft to become so much better than your competition, that when it's all said and done, you'll be a great. But when it's happening, everybody just thinks, oh, Kobe's crazy because he don't want to go to a party, or he's never relaxing, he's never having any fun. But he's like, yo, if you want to succeed at this sport, if you want to be one of the greatest players, or you want to be like one of the greatest at anything, you got to put in that time and effort. You got to be willing to outwork people. People just think, oh man, he's showing up to work, he's doing what everybody else is doing, and he just works hard at that, and then he goes home. Nah, I wake up, I work, I'm working while you're working, and then when you're at home resting, I'm still outworking you. So by that time that happens, as Kobe said, the separation will be so great. By the time they try to speed up their process or work a little bit harder, it doesn't matter because you've been doing this for years. So they can't touch you because your work ethic is just so much greater than everybody else's. And from that, you can see it as it reflected in Kobe's game. It was example, Jay Williams, I think it was Jay Williams, he said one time that he was working out. And I think Kobe was working out with him. And then Kobe went back in there, and after Jay Williams finished working out, he worked out for 2 more hours. And Jay Williams asked him, "Hey man, Kobe, why are you still working out?" And he said, "I want you to get better than me." Listen to that. Kobe said to Jay Williams, "I don't want you to get better than me." But Jay Williams was nowhere near Kobe in terms of talent, in terms of skill, in terms of just being a player. When you want it that bad that you're willing to work out even the most average player, like Jay Williams, I mean, he only played one season because he had some stuff happen and he got in an accident, kind of ruined his career. But he was only averaging 9 or 10 points. Kobe probably was 25 points a game, 28 points a game, or 30, and he was willing to outwork somebody who was nowhere near him. So it just shows you how much that he was driven to success, how bad he wanted it, how much time and effort he put into it. I know this sounds like a motivational speech, but if you want to be good at your craft, you got to outwork the competition. You got to be so much better than everybody else where they're looking like, wow, I can't stop this guy. He's unstoppable. I can't believe that somebody is actually this good, this talented, put so much time in his craft that he's basically virtually unstoppable. So that's basically what was the secret sauce to Kobe's career. Even when he was working out, most people thought, hey man, because Kobe was a flashy player, so they would just assume Kobe was practicing alley-oops off the rim or some special handles that he had that he was practicing in the lab. But no, Kobe was like, you know what? I just worked on my fundamentals. That's all I did, fundamentals. You listen to that, you're like, really? That's all Kobe did? He worked on, for the most of the time, fundamentals. I'm pretty sure he may have mixed in a special move in there, but fundamentals. People, when you skip the basic level of your craft, how can you go? If you skip that and then you try to go to an advanced mode, then there's holes that's in your game. There's stuff that's missing because you can't skip steps, you can't skip levels, because eventually it will show. Like, for example, if you go, you'll see a player, he's raw, he's like crazy in warm-ups. He's doing first layups, he's doing these special dunks. But then you'll see him and then he's on the bench and you're like, wait a minute, this player is talented. This player is special. Why isn't he getting no playing time? He's not putting hours in the gym. He's not working on his fundamentals. He doesn't work on his defense. He doesn't work on his attention to detail. He doesn't work extra hours. He's not trying to outwork the competition. He's just doing, only thing he does, he may show up to practice he'll show up to practice regular time, and the only thing he'll do there is he'll try to be flashy and show something special off, and then when he goes home, he goes to sleep. You're not anything special. You're just like everybody else. If you want to be like Kobe, you got to outwork the competition. I know I went a little long, but when you're analyzing a player like Kobe, I haven't even got to Kobe's game. I probably talk about Kobe's game in another video. But when you're analyzing a player so great as Kobe was, you got it's so many levels and depths that I still haven't even covered. That he worked like he was a madman, but he just knew if I want to be successful, or I want to outwork the competition, then this is the way it has to be. So that's pretty much it for the Kobe video, man. He was such a great player when he was alive. Rest in peace, Kobe. But if you wanna be great, if you wanna rise above the competition, you have to work like Kobe did. So that's pretty much it for the video. I will be having a part 2 to this video, and we'll be doing many more breakdown videos and exclusive content on this page. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and subscribing to the Patreon, and this is officially the very first video of the Player Breakdown series. Until next time, I'm out.